Hi, this is Erin Johnson with OutstandingOhio.com. I'm here today with another Wellness Wednesday, helping you to live your best life. I'm here today with a special guest, Becky from Damsel in Defense, and she is going to teach us some tips on how to keep us safe.
Hello everybody, thank you for watching. I'm glad to come into your homes this afternoon or this evening. So again, my name is Becky, I'm with Damsel in Defense, and if you're not familiar with what our company is, our company was started by women. Our mission is to educate, equip, and empower women to be safe. And I'm not being discriminatory, it's not that we don't want to keep our guys safe too, but as it turns out, of course, women tend to be a little bit more vulnerable and busy and all kinds of other things, and this just isn't something that people generally think about. So what I'm here to do is just to talk about a couple different tips that you can use whether you're in your home or out and about, just to keep yourself safe. So the most important thing, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but it's very important, is situational awareness. So always be aware of your surroundings. And what that really means is, think about this, the person who might want to do you harm, and that might just mean grabbing your purse or some of your belongings, they want an easy target. So you need to always be aware of the fact that you don't want to be an easy target. You need to be aware. So when you're walking to your car from your grocery store, situational awareness means keeping your head on a swivel, being aware of what's between you and your safe zone. So your safe zone can be your vehicle, it can be work, it could be your home, it's wherever you're going. But you always want to know what's around. And what we want to think about now too, we're in the deep of winter. Okay, it's dark. It's dark out when you leave in the morning, it's dark when you come home. But always remember that person that might want to do you harm is looking for the easy target. Now, I'm not here in any way to instill fear in anybody. I'm here to help you just think about making this just a primary action that you would take. So one of the things that is really important too is talking about being proactive about your safety. So what does that mean? Being proactive means I want you to really take a second and think about what if, a what if scenario, what if something were to happen, what would you do? Okay, because if you don't think about that and be proactive, you're going to get caught off guard and you're not going to know how to best react. Okay, so, and that's just something that, you know, people just don't think about. So that's why I'm here today. So one of the things that's good is when we're learning to drive, they always taught you to keep your keys between your fingers. Well, I have kind of a better solution than that. The keys between your fingers sounds good, but I never saw anybody, or I never heard of anybody running away screaming because a woman had a set of car keys in her hands. It's not scary, it's not intimidating. Also too, you only have a little bit of a point there and you have to have that very perfect opportunity. So don't count on that.
Plus there's so many keyless cars.
And a lot of people don't even have keys anymore. Yes. There you go. So those days are gone. So what you learned back in driving school is no longer. So this is one of the items that we have, and these you can get. This is illegal to carry. It is legal. You can put this on your keychain. Okay, you can put it in the pocket of your purse. We're also going to talk a little bit about staging your home for protection too. So this could go up on a door jamb. I have next to my front door, and I'm going to tell a little story in a little bit. I have a key ring, a key rack holder. So when I walk in the door, I put my keys up. So hanging on mine, I've got one of these. I've got a pepper spray. You can have anything hanging right there. So let's just say somebody came to your door and wanted to push their way in. What are you going to do? Well, you hope you're going to, be quicker than them, but you also can be prepared. So the other benefit to having something like this is because it's legal, I can have this in my hand when I'm going to the bank or the grocery store, and the person that's looking to do you harm, remember what I said? He wants the easy target. So if I'm walking around with this in my hand, looking all fierce, it's gonna help be a deterrent to him. He's probably gonna go pick someone else, or she. They're probably gonna go pick someone else because they don't want that fight. They wanna get what they were gonna get and they wanna get out. So this is also gonna be my reminder to be situationally aware and to be aware of my surroundings. So this is also gonna give me that confidence too that I need. So you guys like this so far? Great, Erin's shaking her head.
What's that thing called?
This is called a socket to me. We have different kinds.
Okay.
So the way you can use this, for example, is I use the keys as an example. If you had keys, you would just have a little point. With this, I can go like this. I can go like this. I have full use of my arm. Say somebody came up behind me, I can go like this. Okay, so it's a lot more versatile than a set of car keys. So this is one thing that I like. Another thing, this is great because this is good for kids. Little ones, not little, because they're not going to be alone, but when they start to get to that independent age where maybe they're taking the bus and they're walking to the bus stop, even though it might be at the end of your street and you know it's a safe neighborhood, let's face it, there's some creepers out there. So this is a really great tool. All it is, it goes on your keychain. It's not a weapon. It's got a little flashlight on it, but all I'm gonna do is push this button. Woo. And there's a really good alarm, okay? Yeah. So once again, that person that wants to do harm, he wants the easy targets. He doesn't want the person that's putting up a fight and putting up a fuss. So this is a very, very simple thing everyone can have, whether they're kids, all the way up to senior citizens. This is a really easy, just again, a way to be a hard target. That's the key. You don't want to be that soft target. The soft target's easy. The hard target is me. I'm all equipped and I'm going down with the fight. And again, I'm going to reiterate, not here to put the fear in anybody because it's not about that. It's about making you to realize that you do need to think about what would I do if. Okay, pepper sprays or mace, a lot of people have them. And when I talk to people and I'll say, so how far does your pepper spray shoot? Most of them don't know. How old is it? These are the things you need to know, whether you have mine or whether you have somebody else's, I don't care, but you need to know how far is it gonna shoot. For example, if the one you have only shoots 5 feet and you gotta use it on the guy and he's 8 feet away, you're out of luck, okay? My pepper spray shoots up to 16 feet. So because I know that range, if I ever would get into a situation, I know what 16 feet is. So that's an important thing to know. You also need to know how old it is. If it's expired, you don't wanna leave them in your car, okay? Because we live in Ohio and we have extreme temperatures. It can be summer and winter 5 times during the same day. And so what that is, this is an active ingredient. Think of it like yeast, okay? So it can make it less effective. So these are important things to know. You wanna always keep it on you. Again, if I'm walking to my car, I'm gonna have the safety off. I have my thumb on this and I've got my head on a swivel and I'm just paying attention. My phone calls, my texts can wait until we get in the car. Okay, so this is one of the things that I recommend. This is a great thing to have. But if you do have one already, great, I'm really glad. Just make sure you know all those things that I just told you about it. As far as how far it shoots, do you know how strong it is? Do you know when it expires? Don't leave it in your car. This is also a good thing to have in your house. And I'm gonna talk about that in just another second. One more thing I'm gonna show you here. Again, I talked about it's winter time, it's getting dark. It's really important to have a really good flashlight. So this is actually a stun device. And I wanna take a little bit of the fear out of, we'll call them stun guns, but it's a stun device. So first of all, I have a very good flashlight. So this is great for winter. This goes on my keychain, it's got a little loop. So I have this in my hand at all times. I'm going from the grocery store, once again, I'm going to my house. This is in my hand, so I've got my flashlight lighting the way. In the event somebody should come out of nowhere or make me feel uncomfortable, all I'm gonna do is, okay? So once again, I might not have to make contact. Hopefully that noise, that's showing them that I have a weapon and I'm prepared. Now the nice thing about this, you might be worried like, oh, my kids would get into it, my boyfriend would, whatever. Here's the nice thing about it. Because our company was started by women, we thought of everything. It has a safety release on it. So this goes around my wrist. In the event someone should get it from me, it won't work. This is like a kill switch like you have on the elliptical that you might not use.
Yeah.
Right. Treadmills. So that's nice too. If you have kids or you have some people that you might think might be mischievous and get into your purse, you're going to keep this in a place where they're not going to be able to get to it. So this is one of my favorite tools that I have because, again, it's a flashlight. I can also get this into places where I might not be able to have something else because it's my flashlight. And without this pin, it doesn't do anything besides that. So, like it so far?
Yeah.
Great, thank you, Erin. So another thing we're going to talk about is safety in your home. So a lot of people have safety plans for, let's just say, for example, if your house would catch on fire, do you know what you would do? A lot of people rehearse and they practice and they talk about that. This is the same thing. Be proactive about what if an intruder got into your home. Now I do realize a lot of people do have home security systems and that's great. If you have a home security system, I want to ask you this. Do you keep it on all the time? During the day when you're running the kids around and you're going to the grocery store, do you keep, every time you come in, do you set it or do you kind of let it go and only set it at nighttime? So statistics are that most home invasions happen during the week in the mid-morning hours, from 9 to like 11 a.m. Now, things might be a little different now because we're in our little COVID era. But prior to that, generally especially in the nice suburbs, the moms go drop the kids off at school, the husband goes off to work, the mom goes and does her walk around the neighborhood, does her grocery shopping, comes home, gets in the shower, and statistically, that's when a lot of these happen. And again, not to make you feel fearful, but I want people to realize that because you live in a safe neighborhood, you still need to be prepared and proactive, because if you can't protect yourself, you can't take care of your family. So, with that said, I live in a very, very safe neighborhood. One of the safest. I live in Ohio. I live in a really great community. It's a condo community. And back in March or April, early spring, it was a Sunday morning, about 10 o'clock in the morning. I was out for a walk on the, in the main area. It was a beautiful day. And I later found out that night, about 11 o'clock, somebody came and they kicked down the doors of 2 people.
Wow.
So my first thought was, I could have encountered these people, which might not have been a good thing. But of course, I was prepared. I had my pepper spray with me. But still, it scared me to think that in my neighborhood, if this can happen here, it can truly happen anywhere. So some of the things that I did, or that I would recommend doing, I did go out and I put longer screws in my door jambs, because I found out that it's harder to kick the doors in. So the regular screws that come with your lock kit are just about this big. So I went and got 4-inch screws. We put those in. You can also put locks at different levels of your door. So think about if somebody were to kick your door in, it's going to be from like this height and down. So you want to have the most strength down there, because if all your strength is up here, they kick that door in. Okay.
Yeah.
So just a little tip there on what you can do. So one of the other things that I love, this is so simple. This is a doorstop alarm. Okay. So what's going to happen? It's got a suction cup on the bottom. This can go on doors or windows. So you put this by the door. I'm not going to do the alarm because this one's super loud. If somebody should go to open the door, what's going to happen? It's going to hit this plate. It emits this ear-piercing, screeching alarm noise. It's going to stop the door or the window because it's a doorstop, and it's got this alarm. Once again, remember, that person wants easy. They don't want to have to work for it. They want easy, they want in, and they want out. So this is a fantastic item. Again, it can go on a windows that slide. Again, if you don't have a whole house system, you can take this with you traveling. You can use it in a lot of different places. You can use it in a hotel. And I also had a situation this summer. A friend of mine was doing the work from home thing. He had everything set up in the dining room with his computers, and he was gone, and somebody actually came in through the window and stole both of his computers, his laptops, took his whole life. And all I thought was, oh my gosh, poor thing. Something simple like this, had you thought about this in advance, could have really saved you from all that heartache and having to go through replacing that. So we talked a little bit about home safety. I want to make sure that everybody knows, when you're sleeping, do you always keep your bedroom door shut? Erin's shaking her head, yes. Okay, good. You always want to sleep with your bedroom door shut. Even if you have children and you don't want to be worried about whether or not, you hear them if they need you, it's very important that you do that, because that's going to keep you safe in the event of a fire. Most fires don't break out in the bedroom. Well, some kind, but not the kind that are going to hurt you. So most of them happen in the kitchen or an attic or something. So you need that door to be closed at all times to protect you from any kind of smoke inhalation and so forth. Another thing that's really important to have in your bedroom is a really good flashlight. I know a lot of people think, oh, I have one on my phone. You want to have a good flashlight of some sort that you can get to very easily, because if there should be a fire, you want to be able to signal to the first responders that you're in the room, okay? As well as, of course, if the power were to go out. But most importantly is to use that for when the firemen come, so that you can show them, here I am. So this is a really great flashlight that we have, and I'm going to share this with it. So it's got a really good flashlight. It's got a strobe. It's also got a personal alarm. I won't do it because Erin's jumps every time. It's got a personal alarm, so I hit this button, there's an alarm. There's also a emergency beacon. It's got magnets on it, so if I was out on the side of the road, I can put this on my car and put the emergency beacons on. It's also got a seatbelt cutter and a window punch, okay? So I can break that glass and I can get right out too. So this is a really great tool to have in every vehicle, but also, again, to keep by your bed or wherever you need a good flashlight. Another thing is, I keep my other things by my bed as well. I also have a whole roadside assistance emergency kit. Something to think about. Do you have all the things that you need? You might have AAA, but if there's a really bad winter storm, and there's a lot of people and a lot of accidents and a lot of breakdowns, you might sit out there for 3 hours. So you want to make sure that you have all the important things that you would need in the event of if you were sitting in your car for a long period of time. And just 2 more quick things I'm going to talk about. If you don't have an RFID wallet of some sort, I don't care whose you have, I don't care if you have mine, everyone needs RFID. So we have several different kinds, but this is a little one. I just want to show you what this does. This has the blocking, the fabric in here. It's going to block people from stealing your credit card information and your personal identity. So the people that don't have good intentions have actually a phone app where they can come up to you. If you're shopping, you're standing in line. I know right now we're 6 feet apart, but that may not be forever. They can use their phone, and they can just kind of scan your pocket or your purse, and they can grab your information. They can go out to their vehicle in the car, and while you're still in the store and you don't even know about it, they can actually have a plastic hard credit card, and they can be shopping with it. They can be online with it. So I recommend everybody get some kind of an RFID blocker. Okay, Erin, do you have one?
I don't know. Well, I keep my credit card in my phone case.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up too. Because we have an RFID one that goes on the back of your phone.
There you go.
And you can put a couple cards. You can put some business cards. It's also got the pop thing so you can do your selfies. So this will keep people from, once again, being able to scan your information. And one more thing on that topic is, one of the other things that's not just your credit cards, you want to keep your driver's license safe. Your driver's license has all your information about you. It's in a magnetic strip, or it might be a chip now if you have a new one. All your information, including your social security number, is captured inside your driver's license. So please, everybody.
And they can scan that too?
Absolutely. Okay. Because it's the magnetic strip. They're getting that information from. Okay. So yes, they just kind of like suck it out real quick. It's like a quick extraction. So I want to make sure that's really important, that everybody thinks about putting that on their list. Again, being proactive, thinking about these things before they happen rather than waiting until something does happen. And the last thing I'm going to share with you, this is free for everybody. So I highly recommend, every phone in your house has this. This is a safety app. It's going to be backwards, but I'm going to show you. It was, looks like this. It's called Shield Community by Damsel in Defense. So here's what's going to happen. You can put up to 5 emergency contacts in here. So if I was in some kind of situation, I didn't feel comfortable, all I need to do is tap send alert. Most people have their phones in their hands at all times. This is going to let my contacts know Becky's in trouble and she is at 2937 Littleton Road. Okay, it's going to tell people exactly where I am and that I'm in trouble. They can then call 911. They can do what they need to do coming towards my location. Let's just say something should happen. Again, it's great for the kids if they get into a situation where they're just not feeling comfortable. They can tap that. It's going to send that alert. Let's just say it was an accident or everything turned out okay. That's all right. You just tap another thing that says I'm safe. And so it's a really good tool, something that we've come up with to help. In a situation where, God forbid, if a child might get taken, which we hope that never ever happens, but if that should happen, as long as they have their phone on them, as wherever their location is, we're going to be able to track them, and that's going to help us to lessen those statistics too. So I think that's all that I have today, Erin. I want to say thank you for having me in. I hope that you all will take a minute to think about what would you do if, and then actually put a little bit of a plan in place, because I'm here to keep you safe.
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of things I've never thought about. So if anyone's interested in these products, how can they get a hold of you?
We'll post a link on the site.
Okay.
But in the meantime, if anybody has any questions or anything, put in the comments. Again, my goal here is to keep everybody safe.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys.